So the last part of that question is unnecessarily complicatedly asked. It's asking us to find where the triangle BFG and ABCD intersect. Now, they actually don't intersect. That's the problem. You see, BFG is up here, ABCD is down here. They have B in common, but that's it. They don't actually cross over each other. Even in plan, you can see that there's a gap between the two lines. Now, that's a very old technical graphics way of asking, find where BFG's VTHs. And if you can find its horizontal trace, well then that means you can find, if these were to be enlarged until they cut into each other, where they would cross over each other. So, we're going to find the VTH of BFG. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take a line, I'm going to shoot a bullet from G out through B in front elevation. Okay. And straight away, that's the VT found. And then I'm going to drop that down into plan. Now, so I went G through B, hit the ground. If I go G through B, they will eventually cross over down here, way off down off my page somewhere. But I know that that line is going to be on that dot as well. So that has to be the HT got. So that's the VTH got for that isosceles triangle BFG. The only thing that we can do now to find the line intersection is to use water level. But we only can use one particular water level. If I put the water from, doesn't matter where, but if I put the water through DNA, I could go through C. I'll go through C with the water because it'll achieve the same thing. So I'm going to put water right across like that. But when I bring it down, I have nowhere to know where it is on this surface. So that water level won't work because it's floating out in space. So I'm forced to only use the lowest possible water level, D through A, heading on out. So I've gone D through A. And if I go on plan and I go D through A also, where that crosses over the VTH at the bottom, here, I can join that to B, and that would be the required line of intersection found. And in front elevation, it would look like this. It's on the VT as well. Basically, what I have found is, if I was to enlarge the surface BFG, make it bigger and bigger and bigger, until it hit the floor, that's where it would hit the floor. This is already on the floor. So if I was to enlarge this bigger and bigger and bigger, this line will stay on the XY line. So that's where they have to cross over each other. Which means then down in plan, if I enlarge BFG and it hits the floor, that's this line. If I enlarge ABCD, keep enlarging until it comes all the way across, that's where the two of them will join over. And that's the line of intersection where the two of them will intersect. That's where this massive triangle, when we get bigger, and this surface will cross over. And that finishes the question. Now, that's off a mock paper. That would never be asked. That's an old technical drawing question back from the 1990s. What will be much more achievable for you to be doing is finding the vertical and horizontal traces of all of them surfaces. And that would be great study. Can you find the vertical and horizontal trace of ABCD? So I'm going to do that now. It's not asking the question, but I'm going to do it now. Find the vertical and horizontal traces of ABCD. So I'm looking at ABCD. I'm going to go B, and I shoot a bullet down through A, and that's where it hits the XY line. I come down, B through A. That means A is on the horizontal trace. Okay? I can go B out through C. Doesn't matter, once I make sure I'm shooting at the floor. And where that crosses over my XY line, I bring it down. So I went B through C. I can go B through C. There's the point I'm looking for. That's where the bullet hole is on the ground. This is the bullet hole. And if I join them bullet holes together, I will find the horizontal trace. And you should notice something, it goes through D. And the reason why it goes through D is because D is already on the ground. So I didn't need to do the thing with C, but look, it's important that we reinforce the point. So that's the horizontal trace found for the surface ABCD. Now we'll get to VT, the vertical trace. So I could shoot a bullet C through D where it hits the XY line. I'm here. C through D, it's not working up here. Do you see that, folks? So that was a bad option. The best one would be to do maybe, and let me see, we can go D through B. So I could go, that won't work either. So we're forced now to use a very particular triangle because you see all my shooting is happening the wrong direction. So for example, if I go C through A, it won't work because C through A is coming down. So what I'm going to use instead then is I'm going to go B through D. I'm going to head on up. And I'm going to draw a line up and down where that crosses the XY line. Okay. B through D in front elevation. And I get a point here. Okay, it's okay that it's below the XY. That doesn't matter. So that's 1 point on the VT. Point on VT. Found. Repeat the process. We'll go B through... We'll go C through A. So C through A, no, it's too shallow. We'll go D through B, I've done. We'll do B through A. So B through A hits the XY here. Gonna go straight down. B through A, it's gonna come way down the page. But there it is there. That's another point in the VT. And if I join them 2 points, that would be the vertical trace. But it wouldn't appear until it comes above the XY line. So my page is too small and the camera is too small. But it would start happening way out over here to the left-hand side. Okay? So that's far better to be practicing than trying to get this line of intersection between 2 surfaces. So my advice is to practice getting the vertical trace and the horizontal traces of those surfaces and take your time with it and see can you do it. Okay, everything up to that point then was on the question. So see can you manage it? It's a tricky question, but well worth the practice. Thanks.